Night pressed against the windows, as if unseen hands listened to my breath. The air tasted of copper and rain that never fell, a scent I could not place. The lighthouse carved the fog into pale teeth, and the town's routines faltered. Dogs in wrong yards, a church bell tolling backward, street lamps blinking in vowels I barely heard. I woke to a clock counting down instead of up, as time reset the room. In the first week, the signs arrived small and patient. A kettle steaming with ozone after a boil, a door opening onto a hallway of rooms I hadn't slept in, a radio whispering in a language I didn't own, yet knew, not with certainty, but with a sense of recognition. I blamed fatigue, memory, or the town's bones. Yet the more I blamed, the more the world listened back with the same quiet attention I had once given it. Then patterns coalesced. Cracks in paint showed serpentine maps. Fog rolled in with new geometry, circles within circles, paths that led nowhere but back to the same shore. The water tasted of iron, and the night's cadence repeated my name, not as memory, but as summons. I kept a journal, and it became less a note than a confession I resisted writing, for the ink remembered me as though I had never learned to forget. Sleep dissolved into lucid hours as the room breathed with the tide. Then the thing arrived, not a scream, but a presence, a shadow that stretched behind the wall, a geometry refusing the ordinary. It spoke in coordinates, a chorus of numbers claiming the town as a theft from a wider ledger. The more I listened, the less sure I was of listening. My thoughts seemed scheduled for another calendar. The sentence hung, unanswered. Then I stood before a doorway that was not a doorway, an aperture in air, a map of stars rearranged into a room that remembered me before I remembered it. The being was a principle, consciousness without voice, order without meaning, gravity that made truth fragile. It showed the universe as a ledger of subtraction, every event recorded, but only the absence of what you expect. The cosmos offered a choice: forget who you were, or become someone who remembers too much. I stepped back toward an edge of perception, and morning light crept along the walls with wary mercy. If I return to the street, will the air still know my name, or write me anew as something not human, listening to the cosmos through my forgetfulness? Night ends with certainty. I have seen the hands of a patient cosmic clock, ticking to a rhythm I cannot name. The world remains, larger than my belief, and the next breath may carry a correction I am not ready to receive. The street waits,